Hello again folks, so we're back here with another video on the Nottingham Forest challenge I've been doing with Chat Manager 102. So just thought I'd catch up at the end of the season here and give you a wee recap. So you can see how we finished in the league there. Champions of the league, played 46, won 33, drawn 5. Unfortunately I lost 8 because I did lose a few games when I was wrapping up the season after those cup finals. Played a few younger players, put a few players up for sale, so it didn't exactly go to plan with those last games. You see after that semi-final with Arsenal, which I think was the last one we did in the videos, so wrapped up the league there actually, and then after that one lost to Watford, lost to Coventry and lost to West Brom on the last game of the season, so didn't really matter too much because we'd already kind of wrapped up the league there, and as you can see I've got a few players up for sale, just trying to raise some money, which I've already done okay with. Good news with the debt though is we're now 6 million in the red, so that's been a great turnaround from 18 million in debt. So we've got a season profit there of 23.9 million, so that's really good. And League Cup final, which we lost to Man United, and FA Cup semi-final, which we lost to Arsenal, so really good. But a bit disappointing with those ones in the cups. So in this video I'm just going to show you, now that I've got the season wrapped up, I've actually got the money that I need to buy a few players, so I'm just going to show you a few of the players that I'll be going for here. But first of all I'm just going to show you, because I've got a bit of money now, like you can see they've got adequate training facilities here, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a board request to invest in youth development, and hopefully they should be okay with that. Yep, so that means they'll they'll improve the training facilities during the summer, and then we might even get some youth players coming through the academy there. So be able to sign players again from I think the 4th of June. So I'm just going to show you a few of the younger players that I tend to go for. Don't want to spend too much money, even though we're probably going to have a bit. I'm going to try and build up a young team for challenging the Premier League. Already brought this guy in towards the tail end of last season, and I'm going to go back to his old club in Sweden. So a few of these players in Sweden you can pick up. This guy's really good, although he doesn't have one of those minimum release fee clauses in his contract yet, so we might not get him just yet. Great young centre half that plays in France that I usually have a look at. He did go on to have a good career actually, played for AC Milan, etc. Can sometimes get hold of him, so we'll have a go with that from excess. Going to go back to Africa, Egypt I think it is, for this Kamuna guy. He is 30, but he's already got a transfer arranged to Huddersfield, so I missed the boat with him. And his teammate's good here, Said, so we'll definitely put a bid in for him. Can usually get him for just over $1 million, and he's one of the better defenders in the game, Said. So we've got them. There's a few players that won't get work permits at the moment, but I'm going to show you a bit later on how you can actually get around that as well. And I always like to check the Dutch clubs, because they will tend to have a few players that are a little bit unsettled but are pretty good players that you can sometimes bring in. They got the goalkeeper, but he's going to be, problem is 3 foreigners rule in the Premier League, so I'm going to try and avoid signing too many that are not like EU players once we go up. But good to get the actual league title wrapped up there. That was pretty good considering I had no money at the start. This guy's brilliant, hopefully I can get him. Yusuf Hersi, like he'll literally become one of the best left wingers in the game. And this guy's pretty good as well. Sometimes pick him up on a bit of a cheeky bid. So let's see how we got on with these guys. Everyone remembers me though. Contract rebel at Tottenham. Young Ibrahimovic. I don't think I'd be able to get him. So yeah, a few players there. Ajax. Yakubu's good as well, although it's better to wait on some of these guys until they actually get dual nationality. And just see. Yeah, so these two are interested at least. PSV is another good club to have a look at. Again, you're not going to get the players that are playing in their first team, but the ones that are kind of unhappy, unsettled, you know, you can sometimes pick up a wee bargain with them. And this guy Fuchs is okay, like, so we'll stick a wee bid in for him because he's a good wee cheap defender. Celtic fans might remember this guy, Venegur of Hesselink, pretty good striker, but I don't think I'll go for him. And then you've also got Feyenoord. And you just really have a look through them, see who's kind of unsettled there, but yeah, they don't tend to have as many options as Ajax. And there's a couple of wee clubs in Holland, here in Wien. They've got a few guys that are definitely worth picking up because they'll tend to, once you're in the Premier League, they'll tend to go, yeah, this guy's one of the best defenders going, TME Klopp. So I won't be able to go for him just now, but I'll bid for him once we're in the Premier League for sure. This guy Jensen's pretty decent attacking midfielder. Thing is, I've already got Eunice Linden to play in that position who's younger than him, so he's maybe not one to go for this time around. But yeah, this guy's pretty good as well, Back Jensen, but he is quite expensive, but we'll keep an eye on him. And Vitesse, they sometimes have a few options as well. He'd be okay if you were at a kind of slightly lower league team, or if I was still in the Championship next year, I might have went for him. But yeah, so there's a few players there. Theo Yasin, he's sometimes pretty decent as well. There's actually a great player in the Scottish First Division for Falkirk, of all teams. Colin Samuel, yeah. So he's looking pretty good stats this time, and yeah, but he's not got. Sometimes you can pick him up on a minimum fee, 250 grand, but that's not there this time. So, and he's counts as a foreigner, so maybe just pass on that one. So just starting to build up a wee shortlist for players for next year. So we've got 3 there that are like happy to come. It's also, now that I'm promoted, worthwhile going back to check players with their contracts running down, to see if there's anything that sticks out there. Doesn't seem to be anybody. You've also got a few that may have had their contract expire already, but they'll all be, again, foreign-based players. Well, it looks like this guy didn't go to Ajax, although I don't really like his fitness stats there. So yeah, so another thing to do is just, you might as well try and get ahead of the game before the actual transfer window opens and just get offers in. It's good to have a look at what's going on at Celtic because some of their players are pretty good and get kind of unsettled. Tebley's a decent centre half to bring in, but maybe not for Premier League, to be fair. And he wasn't a good player in reality, but he's actually not too bad in this. So yeah, doesn't seem to be much on offer there. And just check Rangers as well. Reed's actually a pretty decent young player, so I'll try for him. Yeah, not much on offer there. Lovenkrands is good, pacey. He's probably not worth all that. So yeah, not much there. And then it's worthwhile just kind of checking who's unsettled at the big teams in England, because sometimes you'll just pick up a wee bargain there. Wiltord, don't really want to break the wage structure for him, but I probably could get him when I get promoted. We'll see. I know I don't tend to go for players over 30, but you can pick up a pretty good player in David May from Man United there, but he probably wouldn't want to come anyway. Clegg's quite good as well. His contract's running down, so might put in a wee cheeky offer for him. I'll keep him shortlisted though, because he will, once his contract expires, he will want to come. This guy is good to pick up, Ronnie Warwick, because he's versatile and you can play him in a few different positions, so I'll usually go for him. Yeah, so not much else here to look at Man United, because of course most of their players wouldn't want to come in on Forest, but if you get a look at the ones that are unsettled, you know, they can quite often be some of the better players and you can pick them up pretty cheap. And Leeds have got a few good players in this game as well, but they're not really, nobody that's really unsettled there. Chelsea, good young goalkeeper in Evans, so he's worth putting in a bid for. You can sometimes pick him up and he can become an England international pretty quickly if you give him game time. And this young Scottish defender, he's pretty decent as well, so he might be worth putting a bid in for. Sometimes their strikers will get a bit unsettled, like Forsell's good, but he's been getting the game time, I think. Sam Parkin runs out of contract, but he's not spawned that well this time. So yeah, there's a few that you can look at in the Premier League as well. So yeah, so I've got like 5 players that are pretty realistic targets there. So yeah, that's end of season. So just to give you a bit more of a recap, then I'll shut this one down and come back a bit later on. So we've got, finished the league really strong there. A few players that are up there in the rankings. So yeah, good stuff. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take this along to the start of June, and I'll show you how I bring in a few class foreign players that you can't normally get work permits for. Rangers will let me speak to Reed, so that's going to be a pretty good signing for the future there. Just pop the wages up because might be a few clubs interested in them. And I've got Fuchs coming in from PSV. Chelsea's let me speak to Cummins as well. So yeah, a few good young players signed there. Man United are buying Bratini for 2.5 million, which, you know, he's like my best defender, but he's the wrong end of 30 now, and it was a good offer, so I've just accepted that. I can spend that on 2 or 3 different players there, and so I'll just keep an eye on that wee short list there. And we're going to get this guy Said in, so good signing for defence. It usually wants a release free clause, but I just bump it right up because you wouldn't want to sell him unless it was like silly money. And there's every chance another club will put a bid in for him as well. He always gets a work permit, him, so he's a good one to sign. And well, like 1.3 million, he's pretty much one of the better defenders in the game, so That's a wee bargain there with Said for next year. So when it gets closer to the actual transfer window opening, which is I think usually the 4th of June, there's a couple of players Belarus that I tend to have a look at, and a couple of players playing in Ukraine that you normally just won't get. But if you get them right on the cusp of the transfer window, the game doesn't tend to actually ask for a work permit for them, so it works out a lot better. Get Edwards punted there. I've actually put most of the team up for sale, to be honest, because they were good enough for getting me through the championship, but they're going to be a bit off the pace for Premier League on most of them. And although they will have had a great season, you only get 3 slots for foreign players, and I don't really think he's going to be worth it because I can pick up like an English right winger quite easily. So yeah, so we're getting closer to that start of June. So I'll just shortlist the players that I'm referring to. So if we go to Belarus, they're not there, so I'll be just search by name. Sergei Nikiforenko, hopefully he's not got a move arranged. Yep, he's available, so this guy will be one of the best players in the game, basically. He does have a teammate, Milevsky, but he's transferred away, so I'll definitely be looking at him. And if we go to Shakhtar Donetsk, I think it is, so I can find them by going nations. Ukraine. Yeah, and then their goalkeeper. So, right, so this guy would have went for, but he's already got a transfer arranged to PSG. But I can get this guy, Okoronkwo. He is, without doubt, one of the best defenders in the game, and you'll get him for 275. So, yeah, so I've got my Nikiforenko and Okoronkwo, although there's already bids coming in for him from Sampdoria and Deportivo, so I better get a move on there or I'm going to miss out on him. But I'll be happy if I get Okoronkwo there. And there's a lot of interest in him, so I'm going to just offer him a lot more money than he's asking for, because he will be like a key player for me next year. And hopefully that'll get that one over the line. And then we can put in a bid of 275 and get this guy, because he'll literally be worth like 7 or 8 million by the end of next season. So that's tying up Nikiforenko for the 4th of June, but I'm actually going to say no to that because I don't want it to go to a work permit. So I kind of timed that one a wee bit too early there. I'm going to go back in from now, and then it should overlap past the 4th of June, and then it will sign them without a work permit, which is what we're looking for. So this is a bit of a wee workaround if you've ever got players that are not getting work permits overseas, but you really have to have them, and these are like I say, two of the best in the game, so it's just worth doing it for these two. Should open up for them now. Although it's not letting me get my bids in somehow. Right, so Okoronkwo. Again, we just give him a bit extra, as there could be a bit of competition there. And Nikiforenko, same again. So yeah, hopefully these two will just get straight in. Bid for Andy Reid there. Perfect. So Okoronkwo, Nikiforenko, and those guys will be absolute key players for the Premier League campaign. So yeah, so this is going to almost wrap the season now. So what we'll do is I'll come back in for a new video at the start of the next season, go over a few more players, try and bring in a few coaches and just let you see who I tend to go for. But yeah, so it's all starting to shape up really well now. Money's sorted out and we should get the training grounds developed over the summer. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.